Let's continue the Ascension conversation. So I'm going to answer some TikTok questions here today. So I was asked about body purging, going through the Ascension process. What is that? What does it look like? We're going to talk about what does it look like with the split of Earth from 3D to 5D. And I got a few questions in and around. Does this mean like a totally different plane, a totally different planet? What's happening for us? So I'm going to do my best to explain it, just shooting from the hip. I haven't pre-planned anything as per usual. Here we go. So first thing, being an empath. The analogy I use is a fart in a room, okay? You can experience it, but you do not need to scoop it up and put a lid on it in a jar and be like, you have no idea how hard it is for me to smell this. Oh my God, this is horrible. Oh my God, this is horrible. I hate to burst your bubbles. There is a lot of people who are using being an empath as self-victimization. It's what we do. We're humans, right? Every single human has this desire to be seen and to feel passion. So our brothers and sisters that are in 3D are still searching for a way, or 4D, still searching for a way for validation, to be seen, to be valued, to be loved. It's in our nature to want to feel that universal acceptance. So self-victimization is huge right now. I see two things: people leaning into drama or chaos, or to poke, not poke, or to flat earth, round earth, screaming, shouting, look at me, I've got something. And that's just a desire to be important. That's not the universal law of oneness or the universal law of relativity. There's 12 universal laws. The universal law of relativity is it is what it is. And I'll get into that another day. But anyway, so being an empath simply means that, yeah, you feel it. I am a generational psychic when I'm working with someone. So I work one-on-one with people, and then I mentor mentors in groups, and I do a lot of retreats. When I'm working with someone, I feel everything. My organs shift to match theirs. I can feel their anxiousness, depression, scar tissue. I can even taste what they've eaten sometimes. I feel all of it, and it doesn't drain me because it doesn't belong to me. So the motto that I have with this is, if it doesn't belong to me, it cannot reside within me. I'll experience it like a bad fart in the room, but I'm just going to waft it away. And there's actually nothing that you need to do besides that, just that awareness. How you perceive and believe, what you believe will always be your outcome forever and always. What you truly believe will always be your experience. So if you believe that being an empath is exhausting and draining and all of these like low vibrational things, that will be your experience. It takes a little bit of time. I know when I first started, because like I'm a generational psychic, I remember being in my mom's womb. I have a lot of experience here. And I am a big empath, but I think it's my biggest gift. It allows me to resonate with whoever's in front of me. I can immediately resonate and understand what they're going through. So it's a gift, it's not a curse. And I know a lot of you already know that, but if it doesn't belong to you, it can't reside within you. So waft it away. If you need to do something symbolic, if you need to wear crystals or all of those things, sure, they help. Absolutely. We have tools for a reason. But once you really just own it, it's just a bad part in the room. Okay. So let's put that aside. Now let's move into the shifting of Earth, the splitting. There's a lot of people talking about the Earth is going to actually become two. I know Dolores Cannon talks about it. There's a lot of channelers who talk about it. My first theory with it is, what does it matter? Whatever happens, happens. We are adaptable creatures. We'll figure it out. It's fine. And if we get neurotic or obsessed with the outcome, we are not trusting the law of relativity. The law of relativity is, it is what it is. There is a divine order to everything, even the low vibrational stuff. There's divine order across the board. So we are learning to trust the process. It's in hindsight that we go, oh, that's why that happened. But until that, we can get consumed and waste energy in desiring a certain outcome or forcing a certain outcome or being upset that we didn't receive a certain outcome. But I can assure you, when you move into trust, You understand that every experience is moving through you, with you, for you. We can look at it as lessons. I look at it as checkpoints. Everything is an opportunity for my experience to evolve. A lot of people call that awaken or ascend or whatever we want to do with that. It's just evolution. We are here to go, oh, that wasn't really enjoyable. Okay, let me move over to this. And then we evolve. So it really doesn't matter. And we're not going to know really, truly until whatever happens, happens, right? So I'm not going to waste my precious energy getting caught up in, is it flat earth, round earth? Do we poke or not poke? It doesn't matter. We are here to come into unity. And whatever comes our way, if we are united, we're going to prevail, obviously. That's where I pour my energy. I'm not wasting any energy anywhere else. What I have been shown with this 5D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, okay? It's a state of consciousness. I talk about this in the previous Ascension videos. There are 5 steps to anything being created, okay? The first thing I want to go into is quantum physics. I'm not going to be all techie about this. Real quick, particle, there's the split theory, and there's lots of research out there that until that particle is observed, it doesn't do anything. It just does whatever. When observed, it matches the observer. So it does what the anticipated observer predicts it's going to do subconsciously. That's how all energy works across the board. There's a saying that I got in a download about 10 years ago. The observer and the observed become one, meaning they participate together. So when we look at energy and we look at matter, you are in full control of how the outcome serves you or doesn't serve you. We don't like to acknowledge this because we want to put our power outside of ourselves. We want to put blame on corruption or reptilian or being lied to or whatever. We want to put all of our power outside of ourselves into, well, all of this is going on, so how can I? That's not how it works. When the majority observe from the same intention, the outcome will be the majority of thought. Thought is a wavelength, okay? This is so much easier. I explain it so much better in my program moving from, the program's called Fully Awaken and Ascend. I break it down really, really easy. So I'm trying to condense it here, but thought puts things into motion. Your thought comes from your belief. The majority of thought from the observer, individually or collectively, will always be the outcome. So when you look at what our media is pumping out, the majority of observation has become the outcome. When we look at individually, if you are in a space of fear of lack of financial flow, that will be your outcome because that's the majority of your thought. If you're thinking about your bills, the how, the why, the when, that will be the outcome because the majority of your thought is attached to how you are perceiving, observing your reality. So when we look at the split to 5D, it is a matter of perception. You can take 2 children and put them in a situation, and they will perceive it differently and remember it differently, and it will create a different belief within them. You can put 2 people into very heavy traffic. One will get road rage, for example, okay? Road rage, this is so busy, the traffic is so heavy, oh my God. And the other person will be like, oh my God, I love this song. Like, what a great timeline for me. I have more time to listen to this music, the sun's shining, like, this is all right. I got time, time's on my side. 2 totally different realities. So as we're shifting, it's a matter of perception. I don't at this point believe, I don't really believe anything. I just think a certain way right now, but I don't believe from what I've seen in my downloads that there's going to be this, the earth is going to divide herself into 2. I think on our earth, there is already multiple realms in which we can perceive or not perceive based on our belief structure. So I know this is all over the map, but I'm going to share something with you real quick. So we'll go to this. Okay, so these are the 5 steps that I teach, the 5 steps to creation here. So your belief that is in your subconscious, which is 95% of your conscious state, your belief creates an emotion. That emotion is the frequency. It creates the frequency that you are radiating into your electromagnetic field, the law of vibration. You are vibrating. That frequency becomes the veil, the perception you are looking through, and then that becomes your outcome. So screenshot this, okay? Now, the reason I'm sharing that is why I harp about healing your inner child. Your inner child is your belief structure. You've solidified your beliefs based on what has been bestowed upon you, what you have been witness to, what you have experienced, what you have been told, taught, all those things. So your belief is creating this whole wave of your perception, therefore creating the outcome, right? That's in everything that we do. Your thought is your belief. Your thought comes from your belief. So thought being the wave of creation, creating that perception, creating that outcome. As the world adjusts into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dimensional consciousness, it is not a separate world, it is a state of being. It is a level of consciousness, a perception, an awareness, an evolution, an awakening, an ascended point. So the way you perceive based on which dimensional consciousness you are residing in will be the reality that you perceive. I have many people in my life who are in 3rd dimensional consciousness. And in 3rd dimensional consciousness, you are still captivated by fear-based, survival-based perception. So those dear souls to me are chronic about, do we poke or not poke? Do we be vegan or do we eat meat? Is drinking bad? Is 9 to 5? How do I make more money? Where do I find love? And that is their perception on the reality. And when I talk with those individuals, it is like, oh, the world's falling apart. It's going to shit. We're not in unity. Like, these people are bad. And how dare the pokers or the non-pokers? Like, there's judgment. And so they're consumed and perceiving their reality as this doom and gloom judgment-based space. 4th dimensional consciousness is perceiving, I need to wake everyone up. So you're still in that, that's again in the previous video where I talk about the states of dimensional consciousness. But 4th dimensional consciousness is perceiving this world as hope. Really, truly, they're in hope. And hope to me is a 50-50 vibration. We may or may not make it. 5th dimensional consciousness is residing, really embodying all universal laws, including the law of relativity. Like, it just is what it is. And we accept when we're in 5th, 6th dimensional consciousness, the vibration is, it is what it is. I'm in acceptance of. I have no desire to change anything. It's just a beautiful evolution. So it's like a wise oak tree that's been there for however long, looking down at all these baby trees or saplings or plants that are on their way and they're growing. That oak tree isn't like, well, look at me over here. I'm awake. I've got the good view. I know what's going on. You are making bad decisions. Well, it doesn't exist. We're just like, yeah, it is what it is. Everybody's evolving. And that is the truth. We're all evolving. But the evolutionary process doesn't happen completely in sync for every single individual. We're all different. We're all unique. We're all different versions of star seeds or levels of soul knowing, old soul, young soul. It doesn't matter. We're just here in evolution. I sometimes get pretty butthurt. Like, we have human mechanisms. I get butthurt and painful over, man, I just want freedom for humanity. And that's my goal, is to support 1 million lives. I've been on a mission for 20 something years now. I just want to touch 1 million hearts and know that I had an impact on this. So that's all. It's just about acceptance. So as we're splitting into different realities, it's just a perception. It's just how you are residing through your perception, through your belief, emotion, frequency, perception, creating an outcome that you are experiencing. So there's lots of us that are in complete bliss. There's lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff going on our planet. And a lot of us are just sitting over here like, okay, it's all right. We're in evolution. It's beautiful. It's unique in its own way. And our reality isn't impacted by beauty standards. It isn't impacted by self-identification. We don't care to label ourselves. We don't care to be anything in the beauty standard. We just let our bodies be. We don't worry about financial flow or status or material possession. Sure, we might like a few fancy things, but we're not striving for that. We're not striving for, look at me, see me. We're not trying to be famous or wealthy. We're not trying to be influencers. We're just here. And if someone resonates with us, amazing. And if they don't, amazing, because they're going to find their own journey. So that's kind of how I see it. It's just is what it is. And I don't feel like the earth is going to become two different planets. There is many, many, many souls already residing and anchored fully and have been for quite some time in fifth, sixth, seventh dimensional consciousness. Many, I have the honor of knowing a lot of them. I get to work with a lot of them. And there's many, the majority right now are in fourth dimensional consciousness. And then there's still this like in third, fighting, worrying, stressing, claiming, controlling, dominating, like all that stuff, right? Just is what it is. So I hope that helps. All right. I'm logging off for the entire weekend. It's Friday. It's mid-afternoon. I am not even going to touch my phone until Monday. And I wish absolute freedom and love and joy for all of you over the course of the weekend or whenever you find this video. All right. And let me know your thoughts. How are you feeling about all this? Again, loving your questions. So thank you for that. Feel free to comment any questions and I will happily share what I've learned over the last, well, I'm 40, turning 45. So 45 years on the planet, but I've been teaching it since the 90s, late 90s. So pick my brain, anything that I can offer to be of service. I do not know everything, but I know how to live in freedom and thriving. So whatever I can do to support you, let me know. All right, guys, talk to you later.